professional, but it was about him.
Well, no.
It was about you?
No, it was a collect. By the way, we made an album and we as men sat around like this. We were having real conversations, real talk, as a matter of fact. Mark Pitts, myself, JD, there's a couple of cats in the room that was going through this situation. I ain't trying to put nobody on blast, but I'm just saying, we all were having a conversation about this thing that was happening. And it ain't the first time that it happened. But here's an opportunity for me to be able to tell that story in a way where everybody could relate to it. It wasn't just me, JD, it was everybody.
It was everybody at that table was going through something.
Yo, by the way, I tell you no lies, everybody was going through some portion of what we were talking about in that studio.
Is Confessions the album that Usher's a bona fide superstar? He's here to stay. He ain't no flash in the pan. He's not here today, gone tomorrow. Usher Raymond is here, and you will forever remember this man's name.
You gotta tell me, bro.
Yeah,
you think so?
I think that's your greatest.
That's the greatest? Body of work, 8701.
I don't know. Okay. See,
okay.
When you put it like that, 8701.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's great that I could even have.
If you could sing one album, if you only had to sing one album, and you couldn't sing, you got a lot of them, but you got to sing one for the next year and only one. What you rocking with?
Man, that's a hard one, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Confessions. Because I'm right. It's well-rounded, but I mean, just saying this, like between those two albums, yeah, I think that it would definitely have to be based off of success. It would have to be Confessions.
I mean, when you look at it, I mean, Diamond, Crazy, Sexy, Cool, Whitney Houston, Thriller. Bro, you get the Diamond, ain't a whole lot of diamonds out there.
There has been no other Diamond since in this year.
That make you feel good.
It's a good thing to have, you know what I'm saying? But also too, it's a bit of a thing, right? Because you're then aiming at that. And I never wanted to get caught up in what I've done in the past so much that I can't focus on where I am. Because the success has changed, right? If we, could count success by how many albums you actually sold, they don't sell albums in that way as a physical copy where we get on a line, we stand outside of Tower Records, you did it, right? I did it too, you know what I'm saying? And we got that album. We weren't like quick ordering that joint or either just clicking at a button and it's just there. So yeah, it's like the measure of success has to change in life. And by the way, this is important because if you don't do that, you manage to get caught in your mind and the psychological, damage that could happen if you don't reach the same goal makes you feel as though you're not a success. That's not true. There's just always a different shift. Yo, I remember when, Vince Carter was jumping out the gym, bro. He shifted his whole game and 3 crazy. Still can jump if he wanted to, but them ankles, they ain't gonna. That's what I'm saying. So it's about, those are the people that I look up to, bro.
You said something very interesting. Because and I've heard people say this about Michael, is that he kept trying to replicate the success that he had with Thriller. And Dirty Diana was a great album. It sold 8 million copies and subsequent albums that came out after that. But it wasn't Thriller. And it drove him to a point that if it didn't do 30 million, 40 million, 60 million copies, he didn't feel like it was successful. You said, I got in my mind early on that if I don't do the physical number that Confessions did, I'm okay with that. How are you able to do that, Usher? Because we're measured by our success. Because people judge you by what you did as a younger you. They don't compare you to anybody else that's in your genre currently. They compare you to a younger you.
Well, they shouldn't. What?
Come on with it, Usher. Come on with it. See? I know I get it out of y'all. See what he's saying? Y'all better leave that man alone. Y'all keep on talking about y'all the king of this and king of that. No. I'm sitting with the king right here.
I'll just tell you 2 things on King Talk, right?
Okay.
But the Confessions, right? Again, if you are living by the applause, you will die by the boos. T.I. told me that, and it's spot on. if you live for the applause, you're gonna die by the bulls. You gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta make your offering as clear as it could potentially be, because it's gonna serve at least one person. Because that's why we really do it, right? We do it because we want to offer something that's gonna be the right dialogue, or the right help, or the right moment, or the right service to whatever needed to happen in that moment. The celebration, the love making, the baby making, the ability to be emotional and finally be able to say what you really mean to this person. You know, be true to that. If you start to chase the success in that same way, it could drive you crazy.
Right.
The only way that I was able to do that is to focus on other things, to focus on building longitude, latitude, right? I got to build more space. Let's take this thing that I got, my perspective, and I want to
like my view, Connor, but I cannot.
I want to try and go. Let me go fail at some other things and get great at that, right? Because you peak in some ways, and then you figure out something else to work on, and then you peak at that, and you figure out something else. You peak at that.
But how are you able to have such success and willing to go try something that you might fail at? I mean, once you become successful, you're like, I kind of like this. I ain't really trying to fail, so I kind of want to stay. I'm going to come and stay where I'm at. But you're willing to go outside. It's like, okay, let me try to be a producer. Let me try to discover talent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part of it also, too, honestly, became a bit of a reckless thing for me, because I think some of the actions that I'd taken, some of the decisions that I made began to sabotage me. And it may have been personal sabotage, because I just wanted some idea of normalcy. I wanted to be able to get back to normal. I wanted to be able to have like a little bit. I didn't look at it the same way. Like, yo, I gotta go. Like we're now, you know, we're getting ready to take off. Now I want to go to the moon. Get to the moon. I want to go to the sun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nah, I think that in some way I started to figure like I need to move things around and maybe move things. And some steps didn't help me. Some things that I did were not right. Some decisions I made, you know, hey, but I live with them all too, by the way. And I'm okay with that. That's the only way that I was able to get through it. I actually enjoy being in a position where I'm a bit of an underdog and I got to fight my way back up to the top. I love for you to say, oh, it's over. I love for you to say, oh, nah, he ain't gonna do it again. Oh, no, it can't happen. No, that right there is motivation, because that means I got someplace to go. I got some place to grow.
I mean, you were the first artist in the 2010s to collect 3 #1 singles in 3 consecutive decades. The 90s, Nice and Slow, You Make Me Wanna.
Yep.
You Make Me Wanna, Lead One. My Way. And then 2000, You Remind Me. You Got It Bad. You Don't Have to Call Me. Yeah, Burn, Confessions Part 2. And then 2010, OMG, There Goes My Baby, Climax.
Hits.
I mean,
You got hits.
Yes!
Got some hits, bruh.
I mean, you were landing more punches than Mayweather.
Yeah.
When will you go back and sit back? I mean, or do you take the time like?
This is it. That's what's happening right now. I'm actually sitting back and enjoying all of the labor of that. That's the moment I'm in right now. I'm in that moment of really enjoying the hard work. Now, I don't get a lot of sleep, but I think that that's just the reality of who I am as a person, because I love to work and I love to create.